Let's start with our first news. Ilia is confident he will knock out Justin Gaethje this weekend, and he's repeating that message in every interview. In a recent conversation with Daniel Cormier, DC directly asked whether he truly believes the finish will come as easily as he says. Ilia didn't hesitate, explaining that if Justin comes forward the way he always does, he will put him to sleep in the first 2 minutes. He added that all he needs is for his opponent to stand in the middle and exchange punches, because that is where he believes he is the best in the pocket. He continued by saying that if Justin chooses to move around and extend the fight into the second or third round, it changes the rhythm, but the outcome will still be the same. According to Ilia, the finish will arrive at some point, and he is fully prepared to catch him as the fight progresses. His confidence remains absolute, and he insists there is no version of this matchup where he doesn't secure a decisive ending. DC pressed him further about how this compares to his previous performances, and Ilia pointed out that every fight has a different dynamic, but his power and timing remain constant. He believes this is the key difference that separates him from others in the division. On a separate note, Anthony Smith, speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, also referenced past fights and highlighted how matchups can shift depending on style, adding more perspective to the conversation around Ilia's prediction. Overall, Ilia's message is simple. He believes pressure, timing, and power will force the finish, no matter how the fight unfolds inside the cage. He remains fully focused and ready for a statement victory this weekend. Absolutely undeniable finish. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has given his prediction for Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Alex can absolutely knock him out. Absolutely. It's quite hard to do that against Cyril, though. I've tried to do it myself, even though the fight was pretty short. How do we see Cyril Gane winning this fight? Is it only seriously on point? Is that what you think? Depends. I think Cyril can stop him as well. I think that it would be later in the fight, though. I think it'd be like around 4 or 5, maybe, because he's fast. He's faster than most light heavyweights, and he's a heavy, really big guy as well. But you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Imagine if they just grapple 5 rounds. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But I would think that it's mainly gonna be like a kickboxing fight with MMA gloves on. I would imagine prediction could go either way for me. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If I was leaning one way, it would be Cyril Gane on points. If I was leaning a particular way, I wouldn't be surprised if Alex knocked him out though either. But I would definitely lean more towards Gane on points. It was raining at the White House last night ahead of UFC. Aspinall also said the matchup could change depending on pace and timing inside the Octagon. He believes both fighters have knockout power, which makes the fight very dangerous from the start. He added that Cyril's speed and size combination is something that makes him extremely difficult to finish. Still, he repeated that Alex's striking power cannot be underestimated in any exchange. Overall, he believes the fight is close and could swing in either direction depending on who lands first. He mentioned that heavyweights often surprise fans because one clean shot can change everything instantly. That unpredictability is why he refuses to give a strong guarantee for either fighter. He says the most likely outcome is a tactical stand-up battle lasting several rounds. However, he still leans slightly towards Cyril Gane winning on points after 5 rounds. He closed by saying fans should expect a high-level chess match in striking exchanges. Both fighters are known for pressure and timing, which makes this matchup especially compelling. Aspinall believes fans will see moments of danger from both sides, with small mistakes likely deciding the outcome, and he expects the fight to deliver entertainment from start to finish without any clear, safe path for either competitor inside the cage tonight. High-stakes analysis continues from the heavyweight division scene today. Move on to another news. Alexander Volkanovski on Ilia versus Justin Gaethje, his prediction on how it would end. Now, while he did say that you can't just rule out Gaethje in this fight, he also said that once Justin opens up, Ilia will be able to catch him and put him out. He says you can never rule him out. He's an incredible fighter and has been at the top of the game for a very long time. But stylistically, and where Ilia is right now, people think Gaethje doesn't stand a chance, but it won't be like that. He believes Gaethje will definitely give Ilia problems and is defensively good enough to avoid early damage and find timing to explode. If he opens up and becomes aggressive, Ilia can put him straight out, but Gaethje is not that simple. He will stay defensive, find shots and then explode later. He adds that Gaethje is a highlight reel fighter, and because this is on a big card, he might open up early just to entertain fans, which could make the fight more dangerous. He believes once the exchanges really start, that is where Ilia will find his moment and potentially land the finishing shot. Overall, he thinks the champ stays the champ and Ilia retains his position after a tough but entertaining fight. He also mentions that Gaethje is dangerous from the start and cannot be underestimated because of his knockout power and pressure style. He expects moments of chaos early, but believes Ilia's timing and precision will become more effective as the fight progresses into deeper rounds. He repeats that Gaethje will not be an easy opponent and will force Ilia to stay sharp throughout every exchange. He says fans should expect a violent striking battle where one mistake could change everything instantly inside the octagon. He finishes by saying that while both fighters have finishing ability, Ilia's confidence and current momentum make him slightly favored. He notes that Gaethje's experience against elite strikers makes this matchup even more interesting, but he still believes Ilia's youth, speed, and accuracy could be the deciding factors if the fight turns into a pure striking exchange. He ultimately believes the fight delivers high-level action from start to finish, with both fighters having clear moments of danger, but Ilia's ability to capitalize on openings may prove decisive in the final of the contest. He also expects the pace to remain intense throughout and the crowd reaction to grow as the fight unfolds inside the arena, making it one of the most anticipated striking battles of the year inside MMA scene. Move on to another news. Khamzat gets arrested at White House after altercation with a fan. Khamzat just revealed he was recently arrested right on White House territory. Boers was already in the United States gearing up for his RAF match against Dylan Danis. While stateside, he made sure to visit Michael Chandler, reconnecting from their time training together at Killcliff. He also planned on linking up with Ilia, building on the relationship they established during their past training sessions. But things took a wild turn during his visit to the nation's capital. According to Khamzat, he was approached by a man near White House grounds, someone he initially assumed was just a regular fan looking for a picture. The interaction escalated incredibly fast. The stranger started aggressively provoking him, and what began as a random encounter instantly turned into a physical altercation that ended with the guy flat on the ground. Khamzat says federal security and local police immediately swarmed the area, taking him into custody, where he spent hours undergoing intense questioning. He revealed this story after being asked about a famous Russian influencer, Litvin, who also got into an altercation with a stranger recently. He said, "Yeah, I heard what happened with Litvin. It's a shame because I understand where he's coming from. When someone crosses the line and disrespects you, it's hard to stay calm and ignore it. At the same time, you have to understand actions have consequences. Situations like that can escalate fast." He also said something similar happened to him the other day, right at White House. Some random guy he thought was a fan walked up and started running his mouth. It escalated, and next thing he knows, the man is on the ground. Security and police picked him up, took him to the station, and he spent hours being questioned. Situations like that can pop off fast. Later, Ilia shut down claims of bad blood between him and Arman, saying their rivalry is strictly competitive. He made it clear he holds zero personal issue, only competition focus. He emphasized that in high-level MMA, emotions are often mistaken for rivalry, but at the elite level, it is always about performance and strategy inside the cage. He also added that fans sometimes overinterpret intensity between fighters, while athletes themselves stay focused on results, preparation, and timing, rather than personal conflict. Overall, the situation shows how quickly misunderstandings can escalate, especially in high-pressure environments, but also how fighters separate real competition from outside narratives when preparing for upcoming bouts inside the sport and media coverage landscape around MMA Today world. Move on to another news. Ilia Topuria jokes that BMF belt doesn't exist. Ilia was asked at Media Day about the possibility of knocking out Justin Gaethje, in doing so potentially achieving something historic by having beaten multiple former BMF champions in the UFC. The reporter pointed out that if he wins, she would have knocked out 3 former BMF champions, and asked how that would benefit him. Ilia responded by trying to recall the names, saying one was Max and the other was Charles, and briefly questioned whether the BMF belt still even exists. She joked about the idea almost forgetting the concept before realizing it was still active in the UFC. The moment sparked reactions at Media Day, as it showed his relaxed and humorous attitude. Despite the high-stakes buildup, He continued explaining that event Ho fans talk about legacy and record, his focus remains on performance inside the cage. The conversation highlighted how fighters often deal with media narratives that try to stack achievements together for storylines. Ilia remained calm and unfazed by the comparison, instead keeping his attention on the upcoming challenge. He made it clear that while achievements are recognized, he does not get distracted by historical statistics during fight preparations. Fans online reacted strongly to his comment, especially the joke about the BMF belt still existing or not. The discussion was another reminder of how quickly narratives can go viral within minutes of being spoken inside press rooms. Ilia ended the exchange by reinforcing that respect for past champions remains, but his mindset stays locked on the present challenge. He emphasized that every fight is separate and no amount of past accomplishments changes what happens inside the cage. The focus remains on execution, timing, and precision rather than narratives outside the octagon. He also acknowledged the entertainment value of fans discussing legacy angles, but insisted that performance is what ultimately defines success. The interview closed with Ilia maintaining a light to new while reiterating his confidence heading into the match. He made it clear that respect for opponents exists, but once inside the cage, everything shifts to competition and survival. The comments add another layer to the ongoing buildup around his next fight, and the potential history he could make. For now, attention continues to grow as fans debate the significance of each possible outcome inside the division. Media reactions continue to amplify every statement made during fight week interviews, and this moment is no different as discussions build toward fight night. Anticipation remains extremely high across them all world. Move on to another news. Ilia sent an unexpected message to Arman. He clarified that there are no grudges between them. Instead, he explained both fighters are simply chasing their ultimate dreams. Headed that he completely respects what Arman is doing on his journey. According to Ilia, any legitimate contender must carry supreme confidence and believe they have the skills to fight for a world title. Has stated that mindset is what separates contenders from champions in MMA. Ilia emphasized respect for Arman, a rising contender in the division, but made clear his focus remains on his own preparation and performance. The interview highlighted how both athletes are on different paths toward championship opportunities in the UFC. Ilia noted that public narratives often exaggerate tension between fighters for entertainment purposes. He explained that inside the sport, respect remains even when competition is intense. Fans have been closely following both Ilia and Arman as they climb the rankings. Ilia believes every top contender eventually reaches a point where confidence defines performance. Headed that preparation, discipline, and mindset are key factors in championship success. Arman was mentioned as someone who carries strong belief in his own abilities. Ilia reiterated that such confidence is essential for anyone aiming at the belt. He concluded that respect and competition can exist at the highest level together. The comments come during a period of rising anticipation around Ilia's next fights in the division. Arman continues to be seen as one of the most dangerous challengers in the lightweight landscape. Ilia stated that he is focused on improvement rather than external riv. All narrative, she emphasized calm preparation and precision as his main priorities going forward. The message reinforces mutual respect between elite competitors at the top level. Both fighters are expected to remain active as title discussions continue in the division. Ilia's remarks close with a calm tone, highlighting professionalism over conflict. They also highlighted that modern mass storytelling of 10 amplifies rival rise beyond what athletes actually feel inside competition. Media narratives frequently focus on drama while fighters remain focused on training and execution. He noted that respect is a constant theme among high-level competitors regardless of public perception. Ilia stressed that discipline and consistency matter more than outside opinions when preparing for fights. She concluded that every athlete at the top understands the importance of focus under pressure. The statement reflects a broader mindset shift within elite competition today, where athletes prioritize performance over personal narratives and external noise. He remains focused on preparation, discipline, and execution as the key to success inside the cage at the highest level of competition scene. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira raises questions with his new physique. MMA community reacts. The MMA community is currently heavily debating how Alex Pereira's new physique stacks up directly against Cyril Gane, just days out from fight night. Side-by-side comparisons are blowing up online, showing Gane looking as flawlessly jacked and athletic as he always does, while fans are pointing out that Alex looks absolutely massive, with some even worrying he might actually be too big and carrying unnecessary bulk that could drain his gas tank. But while discussions continue online, many analysts argue that the added size could also translate into more power and durability inside the octagon. Others believe that the real question is whether Alex can maintain his speed and timing at this new weight against a technician like Gane. Training camp observers have also noted that Alex appears more muscular than ever before. sparking both excitement and concern across the fan base. Some supporters argue that this version of Alex is the most dangerous he has ever looked, especially with his knockout power already being elite. Critics, however, point to previous fights where excessive weight gains have affected cardio in high-paced striking exchanges. Ciryl Gane, on the other hand, is expected to enter the fight with his usual lean, athletic build, focusing on movement, distance control, and precision striking. The stylistic clash between raw power and technical fluidity is becoming one of the most discussed talking points ahead of the matchup. Social media reactions continue to split the community, with debates growing stronger as fight night approaches. Many fans believe the first round will be crucial in determining whether Alex's size advantage becomes a weapon or a liability. The anticipation continues to build as both athletes finalize preparations for what is expected to be a high-level striking battle. Ciryl Gane's experience in long technical fights is being highlighted as a potential key advantage if the bout extends into later rounds. However, Alex's supporters remain confident that his power will be the difference maker from the opening exchanges. The debate reflects the broader uncertainty surrounding weight changes and performance at elite MMA level. Fans are eagerly waiting to see whether the size increase becomes a breakthrough or a risk once the cage door closes. This matchup is now being viewed as a classic contrast between explosiveness and technical mastery inside the heavyweight division. Both fighters are expected to draw massive attention as this clash approaches, with predictions still heavily divided across the MMA community. The final outcome may